Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great day today. Make sure you check out the description below for your free class code to try out my online pre-recorded classes. So I'm super excited about this topic because I get asked this question quite a bit. Where do you find music? So I'm going to go over different ways that I have found music, and hopefully these tips are helpful to you, and hopefully you'll hear a couple new ones. I want to start off by saying you might want to get a couple things first in order to make your life easier. One of them is the app called Shazam, and it actually looks like this little icon right here. Boom. And then if you tap on it, it's bigger like this. And then what ends up happening is as a song is playing, it will see if it recognizes that song and it'll pop up in your profile. So that way it's kind of stored in that app for you. That is one app to get before you start on your music journey. Another thing that you want to be prepared for is actually if you can have a phone and a computer or a laptop separately while you're searching for music for this very reason. Because when you're using Shazam, you cannot use the app at the same time that you are listening to music. So you have to play it on an external device and then tap on the app, press the S, which then it will tell you, I'm listening. And then you can hear the music and then it'll give you back the information. And sometimes you won't be able to get the name of the song because it's not registered with Shazam in order for it to be recognized. So be prepared for that too. Okay, so we talked about a couple things that are good to have, which is a smartphone, the app Shazam, and your computer. So now I want to talk about different ways to use Shazam. So when you are maybe in a socializing environment, is that the right grammar? When you're socializing with people who are playing Arabic music or belly dance music, I pull up my phone and I'm like this. I need to hear it because I love the song, but I don't have it in my repertoire. So that's one of the ways that you can use Shazam is just on the fly. If you hear even music on the radio and you're like, oh my God, I want to know what that name of the song is. Then you play the Shazam and then you would listen and then it would listen to it and then you would get the name, which is super, super helpful because when it's on your phone, you can always screenshot it, send it to your computer. And the reason sometimes I do that is because I need to copy the text of Arabic over because I can't. I don't know, I don't have it on my phone, right? How to transcribe it, or you can do it on your computer as well. So it just depends on how you like to get your resources and if you want it stored on your computer or if you want it stored on your phone. But definitely once you have that app, use it all the time. If you listen to Arabic radio or anything like that, that's a good time to use it. If you're at a friend's house, go ahead and press Shazam. I've even done it where I'm like, oh, what is this song? In like a festival, and I'll say, psh, and then I'll listen to it in the after parties and stuff like that because I just don't know the song. So it's a great app to have on hand. All the list of music is in there, as well as in the app, it has a link in order for you to purchase it, either via iTunes or Amazon and whatnot. So it's very handy. This is one of the things that I think people forget to do, especially when you're taking with a workshop instructor, is ask for their permission to give you the playlist, the names and the artists, not the music file, because that's not okay, but to send you the name and the album and the artist. This is really, really fantastic because you're taking with all these teachers all around the world and they have this different repertoire of music. So if they're okay with it, then yes, they can screenshot the playlist and message it to you or put it in an email form. A lot of the teachers actually have no problem doing this. And then just be prepared that some teachers may say, no, this is music that I've cut or this is proprietary music or whatnot. So just know that if you ask, you might possibly get a no and you want to respect that. But don't forget to ask your teacher. We have so many resources at our fingertips. I think one of the things that we forget to do is to subscribe to people's channel. So for YouTube, there are a lot of channels that have Arabic music or Egyptian-based music or Saudi Arabian music or whatever genre you would like to listen to. Subscribe to those channels So that way you get notifications when they upload new music. You can go and see what videos they've already posted. Some of them will do like top 10, top 20, anything like that. And then it's literally giving you hundreds, if not thousands, of music and songs that you may have not come across before, or would naturally just like browsing through stuff on the internet. Because if you don't have Arabic on your computer, or you just don't come across those things all the time, it just doesn't pop up in your feed unless you are religiously searching for those things. So subscribe to the channels, turn your notifications on. There's, I forgot what Arab Sounds is, the one I know that I'm subscribed to, and I just turn on the notifications. On that note, you can also subscribe to the artist's channel. So keep that in mind. If you like a particular artist, that's a great way to be on the updated list of when they get music, or when they release a new music video and all that stuff. So you don't have to necessarily subscribe so generally. You can taper it down and be as specific as you want. But that's one thing we have at our fingertips all the time, YouTube. So use that platform to its fullest. So one of the things that can really take you down the rabbit hole is to look at songs that you already have, whether it's in iTunes, the Shazam list that you had done, Amazon Prime Music, Spotify, Pandora, any of those subscriptions or whatnot. Look at the music that you already have and see if there's any related music that they suggest. So a lot of the time I'm in iTunes and I'm like, oh, how can I buy this? How can I buy this? And then what ends up happening is I actually see other music that I also want. And then you go just down this rabbit hole for like hours. It's ridiculous. However, you get some really awesome music, and that was the point. So when you're doing that, just look. A lot of the time they'll either have it to the side for you to see, or they'll have it at the bottom scrolling. I know in iTunes, I believe it's at the bottom and it scrolls and you just press the arrow and you can go through it. So do this for particular songs. Do this with the album name. Do this with the artist name, because computers are smart, right? And it's kind of scary, but they know the kind of music you're looking for based on what you're searching. So it will help you pull up related music. And if you want different music that's not related to you, continue to go down that rabbit hole still using that related search thing. And you'll be pretty far away at one point away from the original source or the original name that you had given it to search. So that is a great way to do that. So you can do that in your music playlist, but another thing to do that is also with Google. So if you type your album name in Google, be prepared that you can go to page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and kind of just dive in and see if there's any other albums or any other names that they would suggest. So don't just think only music platforms. Think of Google, think of other search engines that you may use, and even YouTube, right? So if you go in and you search a particular song that you already have, and then you type that in, and then you find all the videos that come up for that, look on the side, because those related videos will also pop up, and I think it's called recommended for you. And so that way you get all this other information. You get videos, people who've danced to it, people who've created it, and it's just a wealth of knowledge. So that's why I say, be prepared for hours of searching. I had talked about asking your teacher at a festival, the instructor, the guest instructor, even if like the host is teaching, ask them to, like ask as many people. And if you hear even a fellow dance mate listening to something, ask them, oh, who is that? And Shazam it, or write it down, or have them screenshot it and send it to you, right? So, but now I also want to talk about your specific teacher, the one that you take consistent classes with. This is really important because you're going to hear more of their music, and you'll be able to probably capture a lot more of what you're used to hearing, as well as those familiar sounds. But also your teacher has probably at that point also really collected a lot of music, and so you've been able to hear it over however much time that you've been studying with them. So ask them, hey, can you send me your playlist of music, the album, artist, and the song, And that way you can purchase it from the artist or whoever is selling that music, right? So you're not sending music files. This is really important. That's a copyright issue. So don't do that, but ask for the information in order for you yourself to purchase that information. Another great way to find lots of music is to go on websites that sell Arabic music. A lot of the time, their platform will be set up for you to hear a sample of their song. So one place is bellydance.com. They sell a lot of stuff there, not just music, but you can definitely go to the music section and see which albums they have. I'm sorry, I keep calling it albums, but I mean, technically that's the name, right? CDs, the title, and all that stuff. But you're gonna see which albums they have, and then there's a sample listening, so you get like kind of a sense of how the song goes. And so you'll be able to know, oh, I like the songs on this list. Let me go ahead and purchase that album. So go on websites. Bellydance.com is one. I think Dalal is also another one where you can buy music. So ask, when you go to well, now it's like online festivals, right? But you can ask if there's any vendors that sell music and support them. This is really important that we purchase the music, right? Not download it illegally. And then we get to support people and their music. So definitely go to those websites. There's so many options and endless music. I know I had mentioned before about the YouTube searching and then you're finding your related videos on the side. So one thing about that is be versatile with your search. So you may be searching music that you already have and then seeing what comes up and then the related videos. Search dancers that you really, really love and see what music they're using, and then see what related videos are with that. Because typically, I'm not saying like take the music that they're using and dance exactly like them or anything like that. But what I'm saying is you're using a source to find other sources of music. So every time that you pull up a certain video, it's always going to have recommended for you or related videos or pop up to the next one. So broaden the way that you search, right? You can search for dancers, you can search for music artists, you can search for specific songs, search off your Shazam list that you've been building, search off the playlist. You know what I'm saying? Like you can search off a search off a search off a search. And all that stuff, which makes it super exciting because you don't know where you're going to go. And so, but you'll find a lot of music that you may just be able to listen to because it's not appropriate to dance to, or you may get to hear musically more musicality, or like if you're learning one of the instruments, then you can hear more of how they're played. And then also, of course, you can find music that we can dance to. So when you're searching on YouTube or on Google, think outside the box on what to search and how to look for it. So if you're asking yourself, where is the music? Or, you're searching and you're like, oh, I like that song. You come across that random video. Look in the description. A lot of the time, the information is there. They've given credit to the musician, the composer, all that good stuff. So that's an easy way. And usually it's linkable. So then you just click on the link and then it sends you to purchase it, right? So the other thing too is I've noticed when people don't credit the music, sometimes the music is actually, you can't locate it if they haven't left in the comments what sound it is. I Shazam it. And I'm like, please, I want to know this song. So I'm like, oh, you play it. And this, one of the reasons why you want a computer or an external device like an iPad or something, you play it on there and then you use your phone or whatever you can put Shazam on and you have it listen to it. So even if it's not in the description and you don't know what song is using, use technology to help you. I'm sure there's other apps that you can use in order to identify music. And so, try those apps too, because they may have a different database of what they would recognize. So don't limit yourself, broaden that scope. But if you don't have it, if it's not in the description, don't fret just yet. Haha, it rhymes. Don't fret just yet. Try using one of the music recognizing apps. One of the things that you can also do on like YouTube or Spotify, Pandora, another one is Ngami, is create a playlist. So once you have your playlist created, just even adding those songs may help you find the related music on there, and then you can start to set that up. A lot of the time on YouTube, I have my playlist that I'm like, oh, let me go through it. These are songs I love, and I got some of those songs off of the channels that I subscribe to, right? I would have never heard the music otherwise. So I'm creating these playlists, and as you come across and you're like, oh, I remember how great that song was, you can even pull that up separately and see the related search to that. So on that note, we have YouTube, we have Google, we have Amazon, you have Spotify, you have Pandora, you also have Ngami. And Ngami has a lot of Arabic music on there. So that one, I believe, is a paid app because I have the free version and it doesn't really let you listen to the music per se. But pay for the app if you would like, obviously, and then get access to very specifically Arabic music. And last but not least, a great way to search for music is to search the genre that you're looking for. So I was recently looking for Turkish 1960s, and all this stuff popped up, and I was like, ooh. So you don't have to be, as like I said before, as specific with your information. You can totally just do a broad genre and see what comes up. And sometimes just changing the year will change the search. So if you type in 1960s, 1950s, 1970s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, all that stuff, it's going to change what comes up. So mess around with it. If you don't find what you're looking for or something that you like, you can always also ask someone who's a native person of the country of the music that you're looking for, and they will also point you in the right direction. But there's so many resources for you to find music. It's just going to take a little bit of time, and be patient. Build your collection over time, because everything's going to sound great at first. You're like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. So unless you have a budget for music, it can go overboard. If you're buying music, it can go overboard really quickly. And if you don't have a budget for music, don't worry, YouTube is free for you to set that playlist. Of course, there's going to be ads and all that stuff, but there's many ways for you to listen to Arabic music and start your music collection without having to pay. Don't forget about the free class code in the description below. You definitely want to try my classes. Thanks so much for watching. I hope these tips were helpful for you. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you click the little bell on the screen and get all of my notifications, and I look forward to seeing you next time.